Jack, you're daydreaming again. Emily's voice pulled me back. I'm not, I said, smiling. Just thinking about how lucky I am. She rolled her eyes. You and your fairy tale lines. Because it's true, I said. I've got a beautiful girlfriend, a strong family name, and a future I actually want. We were sitting on the balcony of my apartment, the city skyline glowing behind her. I leaned forward. One day, this view will be ours in a bigger place. Maybe 2 balconies. She smirked. You and your big dreams. They're not just dreams, I said. They're plans. I'll take over the business after Dad retires, you'll bring your company influence, and we'll build something together. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at it, then at me. Speaking of building something, Ryan called earlier. I raised an eyebrow. What for? He said he wanted to meet us for dinner tomorrow. Something about catching up. I laughed. That's my brother, shows up when he's bored or broke. Emily didn't laugh. She sipped her coffee instead. You don't like him much, do you? I asked. It's not that, she said. He's different. Too relaxed about life. No direction. He's just finding his path, I said. Ryan's always been a free spirit. Free spirit or lazy, she said, leaning back. Emily, my tone was sharper than I meant. He's family. She shrugged but didn't push it. Fine, but tomorrow, if he starts talking about opportunities, I'm leaving the table. I smiled faintly. Noted. The next evening at the restaurant, Ryan was already at the table, grinning like he'd just won the lottery. Jack, he said, standing up and hugging me. And Emily, looking as sharp as ever. Emily gave a polite nod. Ryan, you two look official, he said, glancing between us. We are official, I said. Been that way for a while now. Ryan ordered wine before even looking at the menu. I've been thinking, Jack, we should do something together. You and me. Emily's eyebrow lifted. Business or trouble? Ryan laughed. Business, of course. Big opportunities out there. I've got contacts. Contacts in what exactly? She asked, voice crisp. In, let's just say high-value goods. He winked at me. I sighed. Ryan, we've talked about this. I'm not getting involved in shady ventures. Not shady, he said quickly. Just unconventional. Emily set her glass down hard. Sounds like trouble. Ryan's eyes narrowed. You've already decided I'm trouble, haven't you? I don't decide, she said. I observe. Enough, I said, forcing a smile. We're here to enjoy dinner, not argue. Ryan leaned back. Fine, no business talk. He smirked. So, when's the wedding? Emily's lips tightened. We haven't discussed it. Really, Ryan said. You've been together how long now? Almost 3 years, I said. And you're still not engaged. If I were Jack, I'd have locked that down already. Emily gave him a flat look. Good thing you're not Jack. On the drive home, I broke the silence. You didn't have to be so hard on him. He didn't have to provoke me, she replied. Your brother likes to push buttons. He's just playful. That's one word for it, she muttered. I focused on the road. You know, you're the two people I care about most. I just wish you'd get along. She looked out the window. Maybe, but don't expect miracles. Later that night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Emily was beside me, scrolling through her phone. You still thinking about dinner? She asked without looking up. Yeah, I admitted. You two just clash. Because I have standards, she said. And patience is not infinite. I know, I said softly. She put her phone down and turned to me. Jack, I'm with you because I believe in you. But your brother, he's going to drag you into something one day if you're not careful. I frowned. That's not going to happen. She didn't answer, just turned away. The next morning, Ryan texted me, we need to talk. Alone. I showed Emily. She smirked. See, trouble. I shook my head. It's just Ryan. Probably needs money. Or something worse, she said. As I left the apartment, I told myself she was wrong. Ryan was my brother. Emily was my future. Whatever small tension there was between them, it was nothing. Nothing worth worrying about. At least, that's what I believed then. Ryan's late again, Emily muttered, checking her watch. He'll show, I said. You know him. Yes, I do. That's the problem. We were sitting in a small Italian place near the river. She scanned the room like she was expecting trouble. Emily, relax. It's dinner, not a business deal. Everything's a business deal if you value time, she said. Ryan strolled in 10 minutes later, grinning. Sorry, traffic was a nightmare. Emily arched an eyebrow. Traffic, or overslept again. Wow, Ryan said, sliding into the seat. Nice to see you too. I forced a smile. Let's just order. We're all hungry. Halfway through appetizers, Emily leaned forward. Ryan, what exactly is your plan for the next 5 years? My plan, He chuckled. Not sure yet. Life's an adventure, right? That's not a plan. That's floating, she said. I like floating. Gives me options. It gives you instability, she replied, her voice like a knife. Emily, I warned, this is dinner, not an interrogation. She didn't look at me. It's a simple question. He's 30 next year. Shouldn't he have some direction? Ryan's smile tightened. I don't need a lecture from someone who was born into a fortune. Her eyes narrowed. I built my position in my family's company. I didn't inherit it. Yeah, but you started on the top floor, he said. And you started at the bar, she shot back. I set my fork down. Enough. Can we not? The waiter brought the main course, but the tension sat heavier than the plates. Ryan took a bite, then smirked. Still training. Emily blinked. Training. Jack told me you're a black belt. She nodded slowly. I am. He grinned. Guess I'll watch my mouth before you break my jaw. Her expression didn't change. Depends on how much you deserve it. I laughed awkwardly. She's kidding. Emily didn't smile. When dessert came, Ryan pushed his plate away. You know, Jack, I think Emily just doesn't like me. That's not true, I said quickly. It's true, Emily said flatly. Ryan's eyebrows shot up. Wow, at least you're honest. I prefer honesty to fake politeness, she replied. And I prefer people who don't judge before knowing someone, he said. I rubbed my temples. Why are we doing this? Because, Emily said, family matters. But weak links break chains. Ryan leaned back. And you've decided I'm the weak link. You're the one who decided not to do anything with your life, she said. Ryan looked at me. Jack, are you going to defend me or just let her rip me apart? I'm trying to keep the peace, I said. Peace doesn't work if one side is armed and the other's blindfolded, he said bitterly. We left the restaurant in near silence. In the car, Emily crossed her arms. Did you have to go that hard on him? I asked. I went as hard as his attitude, she said. You can't expect him to be you, I said. Not everyone runs a company by 30. I don't expect him to be me, she replied. I expect him to grow up. At the apartment, she kicked off her heels and poured herself a glass of wine. You really don't like him, I said. He drains you, she said. And I can't stand watching it. He's my brother, Emily. And I'm your partner. I have to protect what we're building. The next morning, she was practicing in the living room, punches and kicks sharp enough to cut air. I leaned on the doorway. Still mad. Not mad, she said, without breaking rhythm. Just focused. You're scary when you're focused, I joked. She stopped and looked at me. Scary keeps people from wasting my time. Emily, I know you mean well, but Ryan's not a threat. She took a sip of water. He's not a threat to your safety. He's a threat to your stability. That's worse. That night, we had another dinner, this time at my parents' house. Ryan was already there, chatting with my mother. He looked smug. Emily, my mother said warmly, you look radiant. Emily smiled politely. Thank you. Ryan poured wine for her. Truce. Emily eyed the glass. We'll see. Dinner started well enough until Ryan brought up business again. You know, Jack, there's a market for private security. With Emily's skills, we could. No, Emily cut in. Not happening. Why not? He said. Because I don't invest in fantasies, she replied. Ryan set his glass down harder than necessary. You know, you're not as charming as Jack thinks. Emily leaned forward. And you're exactly as unprepared as I thought. I slammed my fork down. Enough, both of you. Silence filled the room. My father cleared his throat. Maybe we should change the subject. After dinner, Emily and I drove home in silence. Halfway there, she spoke. You know, if things were different, maybe Ryan could be useful. Useful, I repeated. In business, in the family, but not as he is now. He'll find his way, I said. She stared out the window. Or maybe he won't. I frowned. What's that supposed to mean? She turned to me, her tone calm but sharp. It means, if I married him, I could make sure he stayed in line. I almost swerved. You're joking. Her gaze didn't waver. I'm not. It could stabilize the family, end the tension, and I'd have control over the one person who could ruin everything. I gripped the wheel. Emily, that's insane. It's strategy, she said. You think marriage is just about love. Not in our world. I stared at the road ahead, my chest tight. She didn't say another word. And I didn't know if I could. I saw you with him, I said. Emily didn't even flinch. And you were laughing, whispering. You think I wouldn't notice? Her eyes were flat. We were talking, Jack. Nothing more. Nothing more. His hand was on your arm. It was a friendly touch, she said, pouring herself coffee. Friendly. He's my brother. Yes. And I'm trying to keep the peace between us all. Later, I found Ryan in the garage. You and Emily seem close, I said. He smirked. She's easier to talk to than you lately. That's because I'm busy cleaning up after you. Or maybe because you don't listen, he said. I took a step closer. If you're crossing a line. He laughed. Relax. She's not yours to control. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind replayed moments I'd brushed off. Emily leaning toward Ryan at dinner. Their private glances when they thought I wasn't looking. The quick way they'd end the conversation when I walked in. Flashback. At the lake house 2 weeks ago, I found them on the porch. What are you two plotting? I'd joked. Just business ideas, Ryan had said. Emily smiled faintly. Nothing you'd be interested in. I'd laughed it off. Now it didn't feel funny. The next morning, I confronted her again. Why didn't you tell me you've been meeting him alone? She didn't look up from her phone. Because you'd overreact. This isn't overreacting. This is betrayal. Her gaze finally lifted, cold and sharp. Betrayal. Don't be dramatic. I talked to your brother because he's family. If you can't handle that, maybe you're not as strong as I thought. That's what you think this is about. My strength. It's always about strength, Jack. You either have it, or you crumble. In the afternoon, Ryan showed up unannounced. You told her I'm a threat. He said. I told her you're crossing boundaries. He grinned. Boundaries are for people afraid of getting close. You think this is a game. It's not my fault she likes my company, he said. You're my brother, and she's a free person, he said, leaning against the wall like he owned the place. I paced after he left. My chest felt tight, my hands restless. I wanted to throw him out, to scream at her, to cut them both off. But another voice whispered, watch them. See how far they'll go. That night, Emily came home late. Where were you? I asked. Out, with him. She sighed. This jealousy is exhausting. Do you want me to account for every hour? Yes, I snapped. Then we're done, she said flatly. Because I don't answer to suspicion. I followed her into the kitchen. You don't even deny it anymore. Because your mind's made up. Nothing I say matters. Say you're not betraying me. She poured wine. I'm not here to soothe your insecurities. It's not insecurity. It's loyalty. She looked right at me. Loyalty is earned, Jack. You've been distracted, absent. Ryan steps in where you leave space. I felt my stomach drop. So you admit it. I admit nothing. But maybe you should ask yourself why he feels welcome there. The conversation burned in my head long after she left the room. I thought of Ryan's smirk, Emily's calm dismissal, the way they both seemed so sure I wouldn't do anything. Flashback. 3 months ago, I'd walked into the study and found Ryan showing Emily some app on his phone. They'd been sitting close, too close. What's so funny? I'd asked. Inside joke, Ryan had said. Emily had smiled. You wouldn't get it. I'd forced a laugh, not wanting to seem paranoid. The more I thought about it, the clearer it became, this hadn't started overnight. It had been building right in front of me, and I'd been too trusting, too eager to believe the best in both of them. That night, Emily came into the bedroom. You're quiet, she said. I'm thinking. Dangerous habit. I turned to face her. I know what you're doing. She tilted her head. And what's that? Trying to turn my brother into something more than family. She smiled faintly. Maybe I'm trying to turn him into something useful. My voice was low. You don't get to play with people like that. Her eyes glinted. People play with themselves. I just give them the board. The next day, Ryan called me. You look tired, he said. Cut the concern. I'm just saying, don't let her get in your head. She's already there, and so are you. He chuckled. Then maybe we're a team. You're not on my team, Ryan. Maybe I'm on hers. I sat alone in the living room that evening, the house silent. Every instinct screamed at me to confront them together, to force the truth into the open. But another part of me, colder, quieter, told me to wait. When Emily finally walked in, I said nothing. She glanced at me, still brooding, still watching, I said. She paused, studying me. Good, then you'll see there's nothing to fear. I almost laughed. Or everything. She poured herself a drink and walked away. And I sat there, staring into the glass in my hand, knowing my fight wasn't now. It was later, when they least expected it. I sat in my car outside the office for 10 minutes before going in. My mind was a mess, rage, confusion, exhaustion all tangled together. I wasn't going to survive this by sitting still. Inside, Lisa called me in the hallway. You look like you fought a hurricane, she said. Something like that. Coffee. I nodded, following her to the break room. Once we were alone, she asked, what's going on? You've been a ghost for a week. I think Emily and Ryan are involved. Her brows shot up. Ryan, your brother, yeah, and I've been pretending it's not happening. She leaned forward. Why? Because confronting him outright would blow everything up. I need to be sure. And I need a plan. Lisa crossed her arms. So what's the plan now? I watch. I gather proof. I wait for the right moment to hit back. That sounds calculated. It has to be. They're playing a long game. I can't just storm in and scream. Okay, but you're one guy against two people who know you better than anyone. You need backup. That's why I'm talking to you. She hesitated. And what happens when you have proof? I make sure they can't hurt me again. Not financially, not personally, not socially. That sounds like revenge. It's survival, I said. And maybe justice. After lunch, she found me at my desk. You've got that stare again, she said. I keep thinking about the last conversation with Emily. She basically said Ryan fills the space I leave empty. Lisa shook her head. That's not love. That's manipulation. I know, and I've let her do it. So stop letting her. I just have to be smart. That night at home, I avoided Emily. I stayed in the study, making calls under the pretense of work. My real calls were to old contacts, people who knew Ryan from his party days, people who might have seen sides of him I hadn't. One call stood out. Ryan, a voice laughed. That guy still owes me money. For what? I asked. Let's just say he's got a habit of betting on the wrong games. I hung up, pulse quickening. The next day, Lisa cornered me at lunch. Any luck? Some. He's got debts. Gambling, maybe worse. She leaned in. That's leverage. I'm not ready to use it yet. But it's a start. Her voice dropped. Jack, be careful. You're playing with fire. I'm already burned, I said. Later, alone in my office, I let the silence settle. My thoughts spilled into words before I could stop them. They think I'm weak, that I'll just let it happen. But they've mistaken patience for surrender. I'll let them believe I'm blind, and when I move, it'll be too late for them to stop me. That night, Emily tried to draw me into conversation. You've been distant, she said. Busy. With what? Work. She studied me. You don't lie well, Jack. I met her eyes. Maybe you're not as good at reading me as you think. The next morning, Lisa called before I even left for work. I've been thinking, she said. If Ryan's got debts, maybe he's desperate. That desperation could explain why he's hanging around Emily. Or why she's letting him, I said. So push him. See what happens. I don't want to spook him yet. I need more. That afternoon, I ran into Ryan outside a cafe. Jack, he said with that smirk. Ryan, you look tense. I'm fine. You should loosen up. Life's short. I stepped closer. Some debts make it shorter. His smile faltered for half a second before returning. Careful where you get your information. I held his gaze. Careful who you owe. When I told Lisa, she whistled. You rattled him. Good. I want him nervous. I want him wondering how much I know. Just don't let him see the whole hand yet, she said. I won't, but I'm done playing defense. That night, I sat in the darkened study, scrolling through old photos on my phone. The three of us, smiling. Barbecues, holidays, weekends away. I could pinpoint the moments now, the subtle glances, the way they drifted toward each other in every frame. It was all there, hiding in plain sight. This was my life, I muttered. And they treated it like a game board. The next morning, Lisa texted. Meet me at lunch. Urgent. At the cafe, she slid into the booth. You're about to get your first real lead, she said. From who? Anonymous. Someone called my desk asking for you. Said they have dirt on Ryan. Serious dirt. What kind? They wouldn't say. Just that it's about something he's hiding. My heart pounded. When? Tonight. They'll call you directly. I sat back, gripping my coffee. This could be nothing, or it could be everything, Lisa said. You wanted proof. This might be your shot. And if it's a trap, then you'll know who set it. By the time I got home, my mind was racing. Emily was in the living room, flipping through a magazine. You're late, she said. Busy day. She didn't look up. So you keep saying. I went upstairs without another word, shut the door, and stared at my phone. At 9:14 p.m., it buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. A low voice said, I know things about your brother you need to hear. Things that could ruin him. And then, silence. The voice on the phone had been clear, too clear. I didn't sleep that night. By morning, I was at my desk, digging. When Lisa called, I didn't even say hello. It's real, I said. You found something. More than something. Ryan's been bleeding money, gambling, shady deals, and, I lowered my voice, he's used the family name to guarantee loans. Her sharp inhale was all the confirmation I needed. That's dangerous, Jack. That could ruin your father's company. I know, and now I have proof. By noon, I had Ryan in my sights. I found him at a downtown bar, mid-afternoon, nursing a drink like it was breakfast. Didn't expect to see you here, he said without looking up. I didn't expect to find out you've been betting the family legacy. His glass froze halfway to his lips. What are you talking about? Debt collectors, Ryan, and the fact you signed guarantees you can't cover. His jaw clenched. You've been snooping. I've been protecting what's mine. What's ours? He laughed bitterly. You think you own everything. That's the problem. The problem, I said, leaning in, is you dragging us all down because you can't stop chasing quick wins. You don't get it. I had a plan. Your plan was to gamble until the house let you win. Brilliant. His voice rose. I was supposed to be the one who made something of himself. You had the spotlight from day one. So this is about envy. This is about me getting what I'm owed. You're owed nothing if it comes at everyone else's expense. He stood, fists tight. You think you're better than me. I think you're reckless, and I'm done cleaning up after you. I left before he could answer. Outside, the air felt heavier, like I'd stepped out of a storm but carried the rain with me. Lisa called again. Well, he's cornered, angry, and desperate. That makes him dangerous. Yeah, but now I know his pressure points. That evening, Emily was waiting in the kitchen. Ryan came by, she said flatly. I'm sure he did. He told me you're trying to sabotage him. I'm trying to save the family from him. Her eyes narrowed. He's your brother, and he's using the family name to cover his gambling debts. She flinched, just enough for me to notice. You have proof? She asked. Yes. She looked away. Even if it's true, you can't just expose him. Why not? Because it would destroy him. Maybe he's already doing that on his own. There was a pause, long, strained. You're not innocent either, she said. I'm not pretending to be. Her lips tightened. I don't want to talk about this anymore. That's fine, I said. But you'll have to choose eventually. The next day, Lisa and I met at a quiet cafe. He's unraveling, I said. That's good for you. It's not about winning anymore. It's about making sure the family doesn't pay for his mistakes. So, we secure the assets. I nodded. I'll get the paperwork started. Quietly. If he can't access the accounts, he can't make things worse. Lisa leaned closer. And Emily, she knows. She's just too proud to admit she backed the wrong person. That pride could turn dangerous. Watch her. I am. But part of me thinks, maybe she's already questioning him. Lisa gave a half smile. Doubt is the first crack. That night, Ryan showed up at my door. No smile, no swagger. You went to the lawyers, he said. I'm protecting the company. You're cutting me out. I'm keeping you from bankrupting us. You think I can't come back from this? I think you've burned through every second chance you ever had. His voice broke slightly. I didn't want it to go like this. Then you should have thought about that before you bet against your own blood. For a moment, I almost believed he felt remorse, until his eyes hardened again. This isn't over, he said, and left. I sat down in the quiet, letting the tension bleed out. Lisa texted, we move tomorrow. Bank first, then the lawyers. The following morning, Emily cornered me before I left for work. You're dismantling everything. I'm saving it. Ryan said you're enjoying this. I'm not. I'm tired, Emily. Tired of pretending this isn't happening. She folded her arms. You could still walk away, and let him destroy everything. No. Her voice softened, unexpectedly. If you do this, he won't forgive you. He stopped being my brother the moment he chose his greed over his family. She looked at me for a long time, then turned away. Do what you have to. By midday, Lisa and I were in a lawyer's office. You'll have to move fast, the attorney said. If Ryan gets wind of this, he could challenge it. He already knows, I said. But I'm betting he's too distracted to act. Lisa glanced at me. And if Emily tips him off, then I'll know where she stands. That night, I got a single-line text from Emily. He's gone to Vegas. I stared at the message, my chest tightening, not from fear, but from the certainty that the cracks were now too wide to close. I signed the final document with a hand that didn't shake. Control of the accounts was officially mine. By the time Ryan returned from Vegas, there'd be nothing left for him to touch. Lisa met me outside the bank. You did it, she said. Halfway there, I replied. Now I have to make sure Emily doesn't undo it. She'll fight you. I know. I'm ready. I found Emily in the training room, barefoot on the mat, her black belt tied tight. You picked a bad time, she said without stopping her strikes. There's never a good time with you. Her kick cracked against the pad in her hand. Ryan's furious. He should be. I've taken away his leverage. She dropped the pad. You went behind our backs. I went in front of your faces. You just refused to look. She stepped closer. You think you can take everything and walk away. I'm not walking away. I'm standing right here. Wrong place to stand, she said, sweeping my legs out before I could react. I hit the mat hard. Seriously, I groaned. You talk about strength, but you don't even guard yourself. I pushed up. This isn't about fighting you. It's always about fighting me. You just don't admit it. Her fist shot forward, stopping inches from my face. Afraid? She asked. Yeah, I said honestly. But not enough to back down. Her eyes narrowed. You're different. I had to be. You think courage makes you untouchable. No, but it makes me harder to break. She circled me, slow and deliberate. You're betraying your own family. I'm saving it, by humiliating us, by protecting us from your brother. Our brother, not anymore, not the way he's acting. Her foot lashed out. I stepped back just in time. If you touch me again, you'll what? She cut in. Keep going, I said. If this is how you need to talk, fine. But I'm not leaving. She stopped moving. Ryan said you're enjoying this. I'm not. It's exhausting. Then stop. I can't. The business, the money, it's not just numbers. It's years of work from people who trusted us. I'm not letting him burn it. Her breathing slowed, but her stance stayed ready. If you keep pushing him, he'll destroy you. Then he'll have to try. Lisa's voice echoed in my head. Doubt is the first crack. I saw it now, in the way Emily's gaze shifted. She wanted to protect Ryan, but something in her didn't trust him anymore. You used to be predictable, she said. I used to be naive. That's not an improvement. It is when the alternative was letting you both walk all over me. Her jaw clenched. You've changed more than I thought. That's the point. She shook her head. You're not the Jack I knew. Good. The old Jack would have lost everything by now. For a moment, silence hung between us. She looked like she wanted to say something more, but instead, she turned away and picked up her pad again. This isn't over, she said. It might be. I left before she could answer. Outside, my legs still felt the echo of the sweep she'd landed, but my chest was steady. The fear was there. She was dangerous, more than I'd let myself admit, but so was something stronger. Lisa called that evening. You sound calm, she said. I am. That means something happened. I stood up to her. She tried to break me, literally, but I didn't fold. And now, she knows I'm not afraid anymore. Lisa laughed quietly. That's worse for her than anything else you could do. I know, and I think she knows it too. An hour later, my phone buzzed again. Emily, I answered. You think winning on paper means you've won in life, she said. I think protecting what's important is worth the fight. You've betrayed us. You've mistaken loyalty for obedience. Her voice was colder than I'd ever heard it. You'll regret this. Maybe, I said, but at least I'll regret it as someone who stood his ground. She hung up. I stared at the dark screen, realizing the shift had happened, not just in the business, but in me. I wasn't the weaker one anymore. And she knew it. The headline hit before sunrise. Ryan's face stared back at me from the screen, half sneer, half mugshot. Words like embezzlement, gambling debts, and fraud investigation screamed in bold. Lisa called first. You've seen it. I'm looking at it now. This is it, Jack. He's finished. I thought I'd feel pure satisfaction, I said. It's not that simple. By noon, the office was buzzing with whispers. Emily showed up in my doorway, sunglasses hiding her eyes. You did this, she said. The papers did it. The truth did it. You could have stopped it. No, I said. I couldn't. And I wouldn't have. She shut the door behind her. Do you know what it's like watching someone you love burn in public? Do you know what it's like watching them set the fire themselves? Her jaw tightened. I thought you were just bitter. I was. Now I'm something else. Done. She pulled off her sunglasses. Her eyes were red. I ended the engagement this morning. Because you had to. Because I couldn't stand looking at him without seeing the lies. I almost asked if she saw the same in herself, but I bit it back. Congratulations, I said instead. That's all you have to say. What do you want, Emily? Sympathy. An apology for not protecting him. She stopped. I don't know what I want anymore. We stood in silence for a long beat. She glanced at the floor. When we started, I thought we could all trust each other. I laughed without humor. I thought that too. Her voice was softer now. If we'd handled things differently. We didn't. Doesn't mean we can't. It's too late. She looked like she wanted to argue, but instead, she left. I sat there, the sound of the door clicking shut echoing in my head. Later that night, I found myself walking the same route I used to take when things were good, before the lies. I could almost hear Ryan's voice from those days. Flashback. Jack, you worry too much, he'd said, shoving a beer into my hand. And you don't worry enough, I'd replied. That's why we work, we balance each other out. I'd laughed, believing him. Back then, trust had felt effortless. I thought the worst thing we could do to each other was argue over business strategy. I didn't see the cracks forming. Present. Lisa joined me at the cafe. He's officially out, she said. Every board member voted to strip his authority. And Emily, I asked. She's keeping her shares, but she's quiet. Uncharacteristically so. I sipped my coffee. Quiet means she's thinking. That's dangerous. Dangerous for her or for you. Both. Lisa leaned in. You could cut ties completely now. Walk away clean. I could, I said. But you won't. No, I'm not sure if it's stubbornness or hope. She studied me. Hope for what? That maybe, after everything, there's something left worth saving. She shook her head. You're a better man than I'd be. Or just slower to give up. The next day, Emily called. I heard you're not pushing me off the board, she said. That's right. Why? Because I'm not Ryan. She exhaled into the phone. You could make this so much easier on yourself. Easier isn't the goal. What is? Making sure what's left is still ours, not destroyed entirely. She was quiet. Then, do you hate me? I closed my eyes. Some days. Other days, I don't know. And today I just feel tired. We hung up without saying goodbye. I stared at the phone, realizing I couldn't tell if I wanted her to call back or never speak to me again. That night, I lay awake thinking about the moment it could have all gone differently. If Ryan had been honest when I asked about the debts. If Emily had admitted the truth instead of defending him. If I'd listened to my gut earlier. But if didn't change the past. All I had now was the choice between cutting the cord or holding on to a frayed thread. In the dark, I whispered to no one, I don't know which would hurt more. Lisa's words from earlier circled back, walk away clean. But I'd seen too much, felt too much, to believe in clean exits anymore. The next morning, the papers printed a follow-up, Ryan's accounts frozen, his assets seized, his name dragged deeper into the dirt. I didn't smile, I didn't cheer, I just folded the paper and put it in the drawer, next to the old photo of the three of us, back when trust was still possible. And I wondered, not for the first time, whether mercy was weakness or the only thing keeping me from becoming exactly like them. Emily found me in the garden. Jack, we need to talk. I kept trimming the roses. About what? Ryan, he's gone. Not about him. About us. There is no us, I said. Not anymore. She stepped closer. I want to explain. I know your explanations, Emily. They're just softer ways to say you chose him over me. Her voice caught. I made mistakes. You made decisions. She crossed her arms. I've lost everything. You still have your shares, your name, your reputation. My dignity's gone. I set down the shears. That's the one thing you have to rebuild yourself. She looked down. I want your forgiveness. Why? Because I can't stand living with the guilt. Then live with it. It's yours, not mine. Her lip trembled. I thought you'd understand. I do. I understand you're here because the safety net's gone. That's not fair. It's the truth. We stood in silence, only the wind moving the leaves. I remembered the person I'd been months ago, wounded, desperate for her to come back. I didn't recognize him anymore. She broke the quiet. I want another chance. No. Her eyes widened. Just like that. Yes. Just like that. She searched my face. So it's over. It's been over. I'm just admitting it now. Her shoulders slumped. You've changed. I had to. She took a step back. I hope you find peace, Jack. I already have. It just doesn't include you. She turned and walked away, her footsteps fading until the garden was silent again. I stayed there, letting the stillness soak in. Lisa called later. She came to see you, didn't she? She did. And I told her no. Good. It didn't feel good, I admitted. It just felt final. Lisa's voice softened. Sometimes final is the best gift you can give yourself. I'm starting to believe that. I hung up and wandered through the house. Ryan's absence felt strange, like a shadow lifted but still lingering at the edges. The family circle was smaller now, tighter, and for the first time in years, I could breathe without watching my back. At my desk, I found an old letter Ryan had once written me about partnership, trust, and ambition. I read it once, then tore it in half. The sound was sharper than I expected, satisfying in a way I hadn't felt in months. That night, I stood by the window, watching the lights of the city flicker. I thought about how betrayal had shaped me, not just hardening me, but sharpening my sense of what I would and wouldn't allow in my life again. I whispered to the glass, I'm not the same man who started this fight. I thought of Emily's face when I told her no. There'd been hurt, yes, but also understanding. Maybe that was her own turning point. Maybe it wasn't. Either way, it wasn't mine to manage anymore. I poured myself a drink and raised it in the empty room. To survival, I said aloud. To self-respect. It wasn't victory, not exactly, but it was mine. I didn't need Ryan's downfall to feel free. I didn't need Emily's apology to feel whole. What I needed was exactly what I had now, a clean slate, scarred but solid, ready for whatever I chose to build next. The night air carried the scent of rain, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel weighed down by it. I wasn't bracing for another storm. I was ready for whatever came. I stepped away from the window, turned off the lights, and walked upstairs, already thinking about tomorrow. My tomorrow. Because from here on out, I was done looking back. Lisa leaned back in her chair at the cafe. So, are you ready to admit you've rebuilt your empire yet? I smirked. Empire's a stretch. But yes, the business is stable again. Stable, she teased. You've doubled profits. I shrugged. Numbers aren't everything. She sipped her coffee. What is, then? People, I said. The right people. Meaning me, she grinned. Meaning you. We laughed, but my chest tightened a little. You were there when everything collapsed. And you were there when I needed someone, too, she replied. I don't remember saving you from anything. Not saving, she said. Standing with. I watched the steam rise from my cup. I still think about it sometimes. The betrayal, the fights. Lisa's voice softened. Do you regret how it ended? No, regret implies I'd change it. I wouldn't. She tilted her head. Even with the scars, I touched the faint line on my forearm from that night with Emily. Scars are proof you survived. Lisa nodded. And you did more than survive. I smiled faintly. I didn't think I would. Not at first. I did, she said. Why? Because you were angry. Anger means you still care enough to fight. I leaned forward. It wasn't just anger. It was needing to prove to myself that I wasn't broken. And now I know I'm not. A comfortable silence settled. Outside, people passed by, laughing, rushing, living. It felt good to be part of the world again instead of hiding from it. Lisa broke the quiet. So what's next? Expansion, I said. New markets, new partners. But on my terms this time. No more Ryans. I smirked. No more Ryans. Her smile softened. And personally, I hesitated. Personally, I'm open. But careful. She met my eyes. That's fair. I studied her face. You've been more than a business ally. Friends first, she said. Always, always, I echoed. For a moment, I thought about the man I'd been before it all unraveled, trusting too quickly, blind to warning signs. That man was gone, but in his place stood someone who understood the cost of letting the wrong people in, and the value of letting the right ones stay. Lisa tapped the table. You're thinking too much again. Just taking it in. Take it in later. Right now, finish your coffee and walk with me. We stepped out into the crisp air. The city felt different now, less like a battlefield, more like a map of possibilities. As we walked, I said, you know, this isn't the ending. Lisa smiled. Good. I've never liked endings. Neither have I replied. And for the first time in years, I wasn't looking back. I was moving forward, scarred, yes, but stronger. The road ahead wasn't perfect, but it was mine.